Welcome to Food for Thought. Flavor is what separates vanilla from chocolate or salt from pepper. It's the difference between Coke and Pepsi. But where does flavor come from? Why does food taste so good? The answer lies in chemistry. Your brain starts to figure out a food's flavor before it ever touches your tongue. This is because flavor is determined not only by how food tastes, but by how it smells. In fact, the majority of flavor is controlled by your nose, which can detect incredibly minute differences in aroma, and is capable of sniffing out more than 1 trillion unique odors. Compared to the tongue, which can pick up only 5 basic tastes, the nose is king of flavor perception. Both smell and taste are chemical senses, detected by special cells called chemoreceptors. When stimulated by chemicals present in food, chemoreceptors send electrical impulses to the brain, which then interprets those signals as perceptions of flavor. In the nose, these receptors are located on a small patch of the nasal cavity called the olfactory epithelium. The surface of the tongue is covered with chemoreceptors, which are clustered together to form the taste buds. While the nose and tongue do most of the work, they are not the only parts of the body that determine flavor. The trigeminal nerve, primarily responsible for sensory input for the face, plays an important role as well. It can detect the spiciness of peppers and the astringency of a dry wine. These characteristics, as well as others like coolness and fizziness, are more pieces to the flavor puzzle. Because flavor is built on chemical interaction, it is very easy to change food through the use of added flavors, either natural or artificial. The difference between the two is a fairly simple one. Natural flavors are derived from plants and animals, while artificial flavors come from anything else. Often a flavor's molecular structure is identical regardless of being natural or artificial. It's the process of obtaining the isolated flavor that is different. Artificial flavors have become so widespread because they are usually cheaper to produce than using natural sources, and are sometimes the only way to keep up with the needs of the world's population. For example, demand for vanillin, the chemical responsible for vanilla flavor, has long exceeded what the Earth's supply of vanilla beans can offer. Vanillin was first synthesized from a chemical found in the oil of cloves in 1875, but today is derived from guaiacol. Artificial vanillin makes up around 90% of the total supply of the flavor. Flavor additives are everywhere. It's difficult to find non-whole foods that haven't had some sort of flavor added during processing. Some foods and drinks are nearly identical, save for a few different flavorings. For example, you probably couldn't tell the difference between a glass of Coke and a glass of Pepsi without taking a sip, but the two drinks have a distinctly different taste. Colas are primarily flavored by sugar, citrus oils, cinnamon, vanilla, and an acidic flavoring. The difference? Coca-Cola contains more orange flavor, while Pepsi uses lemon. Speaking of soda, many companies alter their soft drinks with food coloring to give them a unique look. Although food coloring is nearly tasteless, a food's color has been shown to have a great effect on flavor perception. Don't believe me? Take a look at this picture. This hamburger looks juicy and delicious, but let's see what happens with a little creative filtering on the image. Not quite as appetizing now, is it? The color blue is a very rare occurrence in nature, aside from blueberries and a few varieties of potatoes. Because of this, humans have a natural aversion to blue in food. This subconscious dislike of blue is so strong that some dietitians recommend using blue plates to curb appetite. Color of food aside, what makes some food pairings taste so much better than others? That was the question researchers at Harvard posed when they compiled the ingredient lists of more than 13,000 recipes from across the globe. By linking common ingredient pairings, they created a flavor network. This web of culinary connections gives us insight into why foods tend to be paired. The researchers discovered something interesting. In Western cuisine, ingredients often shared one or multiple flavor compounds, while in Eastern cuisine, recipes tended to use ingredients that clashed in flavor. This is but one of many differences between cultures and the way food is prepared, but that is a topic for another episode. Thanks for watching Food for Thought. If you like our videos and like to see more, hit the subscribe button and be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter.